Welcome back everyone, my name's Eltimar and we are going to be continuing our Let's Play of Divinity Original Sin 2, where we left last time. We're about to leave the Joy, and here we go.
Let's go.
I board the boat.
Melody grabs the vessel with two hands and pushes it into the water. She hops on board behind you.
God-woken. Wait till she finds out.
Salty water mists your face. Your skin prickles in bright, warm sunlight. The boat bobs forward through the water, and Fort Joy shrinks behind you.
We also leveled up.
Tired but victorious, the party made for the Lady Vengeance. The horrors of Fort Joy behind them. They arrived as sorcerers. They left as God-woken. The fate of this God-forsaken world now rested on their shoulders. Or at least, on the shoulders of one of them.
Things ever that easy though.
Come, Quacker.
A light sea breeze kisses your cheek and carries away the smell of blood wafting up from the deck. In the distance, Fort Joy looms.
Look at all those poor saps, they should have just let us go.
What were they thinking, standing against an Eternal? I almost pity the poor, ignorant beasts. Onward now. The sooner Fort Joy disappears from the horizon, the better. Perhaps the Seekers need help manning the ship.
Well, this is a fine sight. Utterly barbaric, of course, destroying a tree and turning it into a boat. Grotesque, but, well, look at it, Quercus. A floating nest, surrounded on all sides by salt water, pure poison to a tree's root. The great acorn could never reach us out here. Well, yes, of course we'll continue our research, Quercus. We're not monsters. Still, I must admit, you were right about the shield. It proved to be more than adequate.
You're very welcome.
No! Yes, it seems our shield is still here, Quercus. How does something so large and ungainly sneak up on a person? You give the giants too much credit, Quercus. I think the salty air has addled your mind. It has certainly been useful, but elegant, kind, surprisingly attractive. No, we have no time for your fawning. We may be safe, but the world is not. Come, we must return to our research.
I love Sir Laura. I think he's hilarious. A bunch of books and diaries and stuff. Basically, we need to figure out how to get the ship moving.
Tess and Elias, don't go any further, Godwoken. We need you alive.
What's going on?
The ship won't sail. We had orders to search every corner of it and figure out what's blocking us. It's hewn from elven livewood. I thought I could communicate with it, but...
She glances over towards a smouldering pile of ash on the deck nearby. Something is nestled within it. Fragments of scorched bone.
That was Brendan. When the ship wouldn't answer my call, he touched the figurehead, and it attacked him, without warning. He burned, like he was made of parchment.
Did you learn anything useful before the figurehead attacked?
Nothing. The ship is livewood, that much is clear. But I couldn't communicate with it. The Magisters must have done something, warped it somehow. I just don't know what.
I'll be careful.
Just remember what I said, Godwoken. If you die, then this was all for nothing.
Sorry about your dead person, by the way.
Her eyes flick over to the smouldering ashes once again, her head held at a despondent angle.
Thank you. We were held captive together, on this ship. He kept my spirits up. Now he's dead.
Well, he didn't have any loot. Maybe that's why he died. That's a lot of stuff. Damn it, now we're encumbered again. Luckily, we have some skill points. Are we still encumbered? I think we're maxed out on our carrying capacity. Or are we? No, we're not. We just have to refresh it. There we go. So we're done warfare and summoning. We can start on single-handed, which might be the best bet, but we do need one pyro skill, so we'll do that now. Ooh, excuse me. Bit of a sneeze again. I have like allergies or something today. It's really kind of annoying. We need the pyro so that we can get haste. In fact, we have the pyro skill that we want. In fact, we have several of them, but we want haste and peace of mind. Supernova's not really worth getting. We'll probably end up selling that. But let's check our... we don't have enough memory. We're going to have to redo our stat point distribution at some point, because we need less strength, probably, and more memory. We need to be able to memorize skills. And unfortunately, I guess we could just get rid of the familiar for now. We don't use it. And we use Rallying Cry very little. We almost never use Crippling Blow, whereas I will use Haste every time, and Peace of Mind is super useful. Peace of Mind increases your Strength, Finesse, Intelligence by 3, Wits by 5, removes Blinded, Terrified, Charmed, Taunted, Sleeping, Enraged, and Mad. It's very, very useful. And Haste is just hands down amazing. We'll just throw those on our bar, and we'll throw Bouncing Shield on our bar. Good enough. Bouncing Shield's really good if you have top-notch shields. Does a lot of damage, or can do a lot of damage, I should say. A lot of random loot here. Those poor Source Hounds died horribly. How do the Source Hounds reload? They have these crossbows on their back, right? Crossbows you need to crank, or you need to do like the pull method.
Spare me, Gareth. We got what we came for. This is what success looks like.
I won't see them tossed overboard. Not here. We'll hold a proper service.
What's-his-face and so-and-so would want us to get this ship sailing before all else. They died for those Godwoken, after all.
You know their names, Malady. Can't you even pay them that much respect?
Gareth inhales sharply, then catches you out of the corner of his eye and smiles, barely.
Our guest stirs. Welcome, Godwoken. Glad to see you safely aboard.
Very glad indeed.
I note the number of bodies littering the deck. How many were lost in the battle?
Too many.
One too few, actually. Alexander, he's alive.
I saw him fall with my own eyes. What happened?
Apparently didn't hit hard enough.
He's in the hold below decks. Unconscious, but alive.
We better get a move on before the Order realizes he's still at large.
Yes, we certainly had better, but the ship won't move.
She's mute. We need to free her tongue.
I've never known a ship to speak in the first place.
This is barbarous magic.
Expedient magic, actually. The ship is made of live wood. It has the spirit of an elven ancestor tree within it. It seems Dallas has found a way to bind that spirit to her. That means only she can control it. Unless we can find a way to break the bond.
Any leads on how to do that?
The Seekers, the survivors of us, have been combing the ship from bow to rudder. It hasn't been easy. This place is laced with dark magic.
These Seekers have such a limited skill set.
We lost a man in the search. Malady might not appreciate that, but I do. And I hope you do too.
I'm sure the Godwoken will be able to get the ship moving. They kind of like to feel useful, don't they?
Do my best.
It's your best that'll save us all.
Alright. Down we go. Let's figure out how to get this ship moving. I kind of remember how to do this, sort of. A little bit. It's been a while, though. It's not on this deck. I think it's the next deck down. Also, we picked up that journal. What did it say?
Allies for hire.
Sodden Diary. Today is a momentous one. So momentous, in fact, that I have decided to start keeping a diary to record my time on the Lady Vengeance, so that one day, should I have a family, my children and their children may know of my small involvement in these momentous times. So to begin, today the Divine Lady Dallas Hammer of the Order arrived on board. She was swept by in all her momentous gloriousness, and I fancy that as she glanced at me, a tiny smile twisted the corner of her mouth. The Hammer smiled at me, possibly. Then she went to her stateroom and she spoke to the doors. I did not hear the whole of the conversation, but I believe she spoke of the principle of fortitude, which is, of course, an important part of both the ethos of the Order and of maritime construction. The door seemed suitably inspired and open for her. She glided inside, and we have not seen her since. A momentous day. Orders, we have orders. Oops. I pressed a button by accident. The ship is to see action. An evil band of rebels has landed on the island and we are to destroy their ship and perhaps them too. Tomorrow I shall recount the story of our glorious victory. Fortitude is the key. Fortitude shall open the doors.
The door seems like any door, at least at first. Then you notice its unblemished wood. There is no knot, no scratch, no dent to detract from its apparent perfection.
I sense something more here, a presence. I place my palm against the door.
The wood groans and creaks. A face appears in the wood, tortured and tormented. A six-sided indentation is carved on its forehead, as if a gem or amulet had made a mark there. The face vanishes. The
Fortitude.
door remains closed.
We need the gem. I kind of remembered that we needed that too.
The door seems like any door, at least at first. The wood
Do the door thing.
groans and creaks. The face vanishes.
Knock on the
thud of
door.
your fist upon the
Yeah, I know what we need. We need the amulet, and I think that Alexander. I know for a fact that Alexander has it.
The Seeker flexes her arms stiffly. Her joints audibly pop. She sees you draw near.
I owe you, Godwoken. Without your help, I'd likely still be a prisoner around here, not guarding Alexander the bloody divine himself.
She nods her thanks and immediately winces, laying her hand on the back of her neck.
Open the gate. I want to find out if the prisoners know how to get the ship moving.
Good luck getting anything out of either of them. Our special guest is out cold, and the other one ain't in much of a talking mood.
I'll have to try. Open the door.
All right then, just don't make me regret it.
I am more powerful than you. I'll be fine. Takes you a long time to unlock the
Find
door.
something useful.
A young magister paces around the brig, fussing over Alexander's unconscious form. She leans over and applies a damp cloth to his brow. She notices you observing her. She straightens her back and sets her jaw in a defiant scowl.
Magister Ranley, Corker's mate of the Divine Eminence vessel, Lady Vengeance. That's all the information I'm giving to any of you lot, so stow your questions.
You must be shocked to find yourself tending to the divine.
Ranley, Corker's mate, Lady Vengeance.
Alright, well, we're gonna go talk to
Get away from him, sorcerer. That's the Divine.
You're alone, unarmed, and there's a ship full of seekers who'd happily throw you overboard. You're in no position to be making demands.
All right. Don't harm him. I'll be watching.
Yeah, whatever.
Bishop Alexander lies supine on a bare wire cot. Though unconscious, his eyes are only half closed. His swollen jaw hangs open at an odd angle.
Look at his face.
Bruises swell beneath his eyes, and a shallow gash zigzags from his right ear down to his beardless cheek. Unconscious, he looks more boy than bishop.
Check out his hands.
Someone has wiped the bishop's hands clean and folded them neatly over his abdomen. They rise and fall in shallow, jagged swells.
I look at his simple regalia.
A beautiful six-sided gem rests on the bishop's chest, hung round his neck by an ordinary oiled rope.
I take that gem.
The gem sits heavily in your pouch.
Thank you.
Setting you up like you're locked into me.
Also, we can go here and redo some of our stats slightly later if we want to. We'll have to do that with Fane when we actually have him in our control. But for now, we're gonna go bust open this door.
The door is still unmarked, though the memory of the face and its six-sided notch remains with you.
Hold the gem.
The anguished face appears once more. It dips its forehead towards you and waits.
I put the gem in its forehead.
A shudder of pleasure racks the figure in the door. It seems to breathe. All of a sudden, all anguish is gone. It gives you the sternest of looks.
I am summoned. Speak the password.
Fortitude.
Yes, and yes again. The word is spoken. Welcome to the stateroom.
Thank you, weird voice. We have made it into the stateroom. There's 100 billion potion racks in this place. That's not even an exaggeration. Oh. Well, yeah, but you're making it really hard to loot behind you. We can sell all these, or use them, or whatever we want, but a lot of them are healing potions. Or empty potions. Both, I guess. And more loot. And by that I mean potion bottles. So many potion bottles.
Just one more moment, please.
Ah, Tarkin.
Clicks together two halves of some type of gauntlet sitting in his lap and turns his full attention to you.
And there. Rescued at last, am I? To whom do I owe my thanks?
Me and my companions have seized the ship from the Magisters and demand to know who you are.
I'm a prisoner, of course. Do you think I'd be sitting here calmly if I was a Magister holdout? That infernal Dallas woman left me trapped here, too weak to escape. It seems I'm in your debt.
Prisoners aren't usually held in the master cabin. Why are you here?
Dallas took a particular interest in me and my skills. I'm an expert in healing, crafting, and more arcane practices. She kept me here to do her bidding. Until you took her flagship from right under her nose, it seems.
Sounds like you were kept here as a personal slave.
Oh, yes. And she could be a most cruel mistress, I'm sad to report.
He extends his arm and pushes up the sleeve. Beneath, the skin is withered and discolored, as if it were magically decayed.
She used some form of domination device on me, forcing my hands to do her bidding, and I've ruined them in the process.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, the situation is looking immeasurably better now. You'll hear no more complaints from me. So why don't you tell me all about my valiant rescuers? To whom do I owe my thanks?
I consider myself more of a musician than a rescuer, really.
Ah, I do like music. I created a never-ending music box for a lizard viceroy once. In fact, I do believe the box has outlived the lizard. Ancient Empire politics are so cutthroat. I must hear you perform at some point. But for now, I ought to carry on with what I'm doing here. Unless there was something else?
I asked about the armor that you're tinkering with. Something you took from the Magisters?
Took it? No, I made it. Have you seen the kind of metalwork the Magisters deploy? This is in a different class to them. As I said, the Magisters left me weakened. But this will help give me the strength to carry on my work.
What did Dallas have you do here?
Oh, cast spells, tinker with relics, meddle with the laws of nature. All the sorts of things power-hungry despots love to do. She had me enchant a dead cat over there, so it would seem alive.
He clicks the gauntlet into place around his withered forearm, his eyes on you the whole time.
But that damn contraption that she used on me seems to have fogged my memory. The rest is a blur.
Sounds like necromancy, enchanting a dead cat.
No! Necromancy is an unsavory practice, not something to be trifled with lightly. This is but a cunning illusion of my own creation, nothing more.
His face abruptly creases into a smile.
But come now, enough of Dallas and dead cats. You've taken this ship and granted my freedom. This is a happy moment.
It is, and we're gonna start by being happier to get rid of some of these inventory things. So, first of all, we need to butter this guy up. Let's throw some gold at him. Start with like 300. See how much that gives us. So this is what we need to get up. That star thing here, his attitude. Well, that was easy. $300 and we're maxed out. So we have a 26% discount with him now on items, which is really, really good. And we're going to get, first of all, rid of every painting that we own. All these gold garbages, these plates, 800 plates. Now he's going to run out of money really fast because we have lots of stuff to sell him. I don't even know why we had a grotesque jar, but whatever. We'll keep our runes for now. Rid of the wood chip. We need that strange gem. Rid of the wooden figurines, the arrow shafts. We'll keep the shovel. We'll keep the nails. Stardust, I can't remember if we need it or not. We'll keep it for now just in case. But we don't need teeth, I know that. Don't need sticks, don't need tormented souls, don't need skulls. Don't need those, or these, or those. Or the jars of mind maggots. We're already at $2,000. We haven't even touched our actual loot yet. Okay, so anything really below like level 6 should just be sold. There's really no point in carrying it around anymore. I should say anything level 6 and below. We're level 9 now, so everything of this level is going to be way underpowered for us. Should get rid of these shields first, actually. That is a level 8 shield and actually has a lot of armor on it. We should keep that. We're going to buy some things too, because we're going to have way too much money. In fact, we should probably buy this level 9 shield. Leadership burning on contact. It's not the greatest shield in the world, but I guess it's okay for Fane. Fane can wear that one. Any good weapons? We don't need two-handed axes. That one-handed axe is really nice. 1 strength, 1 single attack. Sure. And then 1 strength, 1 single-handed as well. For a sword. Alright. There. That'll give us some... So he's giving us $3,500 back, which means we can sell more things to him. Yeah. We don't have anyone that uses bows, so we can get rid of all of these arrows. Wait, is that a purging wand? I want to keep the purging wand. Just for the future, we might need it. He still has $1,000 left. Still has $900 left. It's $200 left. $85 left. $12 left. Okay, what does he have for skills, though? There might be a couple things we need from skills. No, he doesn't really have anything we want. Black Shroud is not the best source skill in the world. Does he have any rings that are good? Pyro Necromancer, it's okay. A decent belt, but I don't really need it too much. That's a finesse boots, we don't need those. Doesn't look like we need anything else. He does have source orbs, and those are ludicrously expensive. How much is 1 source orb? $2,000. Pass. We'll get some more later on. Alright, so that cleared out some inventory space. We also got some items out of it. The ship is immobile. Do you know what might be causing that?
Dallas didn't tell me anything if she could avoid it. But I did overhear her practicing an ancient lizard dialect. Significant, perhaps? Don't you think?
Spit out whatever you're insinuating. No time for guessing.
Lizards apparently have ancient magic that allows them to control slaves that bear their mark by singing a song. Dallas must have had an interest in those techniques.
Okay, thanks. I know kind of what we need to do. Also, there's more things to loot here. Also, there's a plate. Is that plate worth anything? Yeah, $70. Uh-oh. I hit a button. Oh. O is to get rid of top down. We should probably put on some of these things that we bought. So, slice... Oh, wait, hang on. We need to take out ruins first. Boop. Now we put Slicer in its place. Banish ruins again. And jam it into that one instead. Now, Slicer does a fair amount of damage. We don't have Fane with us, so we can't put his shield or weapon on yet, but soon. Also, there's a teleporter pyramid, which is important.
A pyramid? What on Rivellon is this for?
It's for things. A dusty tomb.
What script is this? Whatever it is, it appears to be written in verse.
Read it in a second as
I
well.
spotted something.
Why are these glasses worth so much money? And same with that picture. And we got another Zake's Talon, which poisons things. Another res scroll, always useful. Nope. So much to loot on this boat. Don't need the skull. We'll talk to the cat in a second here, and then we'll actually get the boat sort of moving. The reason we buttered up Tarkin is he is a long-standing character in this game. He will be with us for basically the entire thing. So he's always a good merchant to have around.
I've spotted something.
What's this? I think the giant... It certainly took it long enough. Where to begin? I disagree, Quercus. It does not need to know about the coming of the great acorn spelling doom for us all. Similarly, what happened with the Knights of Dre is our own business. Those acorn-worshipping acolytes do not scare me. No, it is enough for the creature to know that we are allowing it to accompany us so that it may act as our shield against the monsters. The great acorn has many servants. We shall need all the help we can get.
I'll talk to you soon, I promise. But you'll notice that that thing opened up.
Fasten tight.
Need Fane. Let's go find Fane. We need him in our group. Why he's not in our group? Where did I find that man skeleton? That's Exter. He will not be a merchant for very long, I don't think. Everyone's just drinking beer instead of looking around. Good. Solid. There's Beast. How did Beast get on? Oh, we didn't kill him, right? I was gonna say, how did Beast get on our ship? But he's one of the few we didn't kill. Alright, Fane. There you are. Come with me. I need you in my group.
I must say, you may not be an Eternal, but you are certainly not as temporary as many of your fellows. You handled yourself well. Personally, I am just glad that I do not have to walk back to Reaper's Coast. Wind travel may be primitive, but it is at least efficient.
I point out that the ship is livewood. It doesn't need the wind to move.
Livewood? You have taken a dead elf and carved it into a pleasure yacht? I knew you people were barbarians. I had no idea you were sadists too. Well, no matter. Whatever gets me to Reaper's Coast quickly. I have an excavation site to explore.
I smile and rest my hand on his arm. We need to hurry. You're getting to know each other.
Well, you see, I have a rather pressing engagement at the Black.
The skeleton breaks off mid-sentence as he notices your hand. He pulls out a notebook, flicking through it, running a finger down the pages.
Physical contact, voice lowered, coin looks. Good heavens. Is this a mating ritual?
I have to do this. Well, let's go for a little more subtlety, but yes.
Oh, subtlety be damned. Did you know that some humans spend several hours speaking to a prospective mate before engaging them physically? What a monumental waste of time. No, I have been curious about this for far too long. Let us begin at once.
Fane grabs your hand and enthusiastically pulls you behind the screen.
Oh, that's funny.
Well, that was most unusual. I mean, I had read all the leading authorities on it, but I didn't think. It's just that thing you did with your tongue. It was quite unexpected.
Ah, the Euthal Gore split. It's one of my more inventive tricks.
My goodness. It was certainly an experience,
What?
but I must admit, I was expecting something more.
I'm gonna teleport you off the ship.
Not from you. Certainly not from you. It's just that well, I felt nothing. Neither the warmth of your touch nor the fire of your passion. I may as well have been shucking an oyster.
I enjoyed myself.
Really? Even the part where you... My goodness.
The skeleton pulls a notebook from his robes and starts scribbling. You can hear him muttering something about highly unorthodox, lack of sensation, and coccyx. You ponder his words as you pick up the last of your belongings. You're almost sure that's what he said.
Bane, come with me. We get further as a team.
A team? What an interesting prospect. You certainly seemed capable in Fort Joy, and a companion on Reaper's Coast could be quite educational. Very well. I am open to this. I believe you normally spit on your palms to seal agreements, but I seem to lack the fluid and the desire to touch you. I hope a hearty verbal agreement will suffice.
Sure.
Very well. Let's be off.
There we go. Now we can level him up, and he can come with us to help get the ship in order. It is kind of annoying doing it with a team member. I need to redo his stats, so I'm not going to bother leveling him up at the moment. Oh, that's kind of a nice shield. A good lucky charm find. What are we doing for time? Oh, we're almost at 30 minutes. Okay, we'll quickly go respec Bane, and then we're going to do the rest of the ship stuff. So far we boned a skeleton. Literally. And we have gotten some of the ship's treasure, not all of it. We also got Tarkin all buttered up, so things are going well. Alright, attributes, first of all. Nuke his intelligence, because we don't need it. We'll give him some more strength, because we do need that. Maybe a little less con. Some more memory, we're going to need that. And some more wits. We are going to get rid of his... Actually, you know what? Lore Master's fine the way it is at the moment. Combat ability. So we need to get rid of leadership. We'll get some more of that later, because it's pretty useful at times. But we need more warfare currently. And we need a pyro. Alright, there we go. Let's get him to learn... What is his helmet? Was his helmet an intelligence-based helmet? No, we can't use it. Probably. Yes, it was. Too bad it was garbage anyways. We must have a better helmet somewhere. We don't have a better helmet somewhere. Really? None? We don't have a single helmet? Well, let's give him a new shield anyways. His shield's a little outdated at the moment. And I think he needs a new ring. Well, a +1 submarine ring is good. Question. It's a little old now. Its magic armor has fallen way behind. We're just gonna sell that wand because it's not very useful for us. We need to buy him a helmet, so we probably have to go talk to Tarkin again and get a helmet for him. We get some sort of mace for him as well. Yes, the Huntsman. Nope, that's not right. The Dicer. Yes, that one. It does not have a rune slot, so we'll just put that in our inventory for later. Alright. Also, we just have a level up to do. Level up to do? Why are you showing that you have extra points? Alright, let's quick save and quick load. Let's quick load. There we go. Other than that, we're gonna have to figure out exactly what's going on with his stat points. No, it's gone now. Good. It's fixed. Problem solved. So we're at a little over 30 minutes. We're gonna call it here. I'm gonna quickly check to see if I can get him a helmet at Tarkin. He's a bit scully, and apparently people on this ship don't particularly care, but other people in the world will. He kinda needs a hat at all time. But I will see you all in the next video. Like always, if you have any suggestions or comments, please do them below. Here.